Hello? Are we live? I literally just walked in the house. There was traffic, and things got a little dicey, but we got home in time. It's okay. Stream did start at past. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a good day. Can you hear the music? Can you hear me? Etc, etc. I don't really have one planned, I'm not gonna lie. I was just gonna open the floor. It's been a while. All good for audio? Okay, sounds good. Thank you for the heads up. Give it a minute or two, let some people gather if that's going to happen. And yeah, we should be good to go. Literally just got in the house, it's absolutely lashing it down as well. First time we've done one of these for, what, like 2 months? It has been a good while. Oh. Just gonna touch the background music up a... that was a bit too much. There we go. Hopefully that still sounds okay. Hey, Rep. Any plans for Thanksgiving? I do not, because we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I'm British, so it's not a holiday over here. It's not something we really... I don't really know what Thanksgiving is, to be honest. Outside of, like, what you hear on TV, I guess. Okay, let's figure out what to talk about. Let's figure out some Fire Emblem-y things to discuss. I'm literally just gonna open the Fire Emblem wiki and see if anything catches my eye. Resist urge to make American joke. A lot of my viewer base is actually American. It kind of surprises me. I don't know why. I guess it should have been, like, fairly expected, but... Thoughts on the dining hall-esque mechanics returning in Engage? I'd be cool if they did. I don't know if it's, like, confirmed that they are or not. I still haven't actually caught the most recent trailer. But I would actually be kind of happy with things like that returning to the game. I think, yeah, like, more character interactions are always good, and I think it's, like... an interesting mechanic to attach, like, benefits to who you choose to share your food with. Also gives more use to resources like food and things like that. Although, I literally have never taken food into consideration when doing anything. At least gives me a reason to keep it and not just sell it. Which is interesting. I hope they bring back, like, a lot of the character interaction stuff that was introduced in Three Houses. I think a lot of it's a lot of fun. Just in general, like, being able to spend more time with the characters is one of the things that always, like, not annoyed me, but, like, I always wish they did better in older Fire Emblems. Like, a character would join, be relevant for maybe, like, a couple of chapters at most, but then they had to account for them being dead. So they basically just stopped doing anything with them. You got things like supports and, like, in the Tellius games, you got base conversations. But they were, like, few and far between, especially the base conversations and things like that. Are we getting tea parties? Can we observe the characters? That is the real question. Can I stare at them? That is quite important. I do want to be able to just stare at the characters. Picnics? I would take picnics. I would take tea parties returning in a form that isn't tea parties. I'm just gonna watch people play Engage so I don't have to. That's fair. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm not like super hyped for it, but I'm looking forward to see what it's like. I'm hoping it's fun. It's weird because this is like the longest gap we've had for an FE, right? But it's the one I feel like the least. Like, I'm anticipating the least. I think it's because I'm still enjoying Three Houses, to be honest with you. Like, I still have so much fun with Three Houses that I'm not sat here, like, waiting for the next one to come out. Like, I still feel like I've got a lot to do in Three Houses. I'm not gonna, like, lock this in, but I would be very surprised if Three Houses stopped being a part of this channel after Engage releases. We're only 2 months out, and I still don't feel ready to, like, drop the game yet. So I'm pretty sure, at least on here, we will still spend a solid bit of time in Fodlan. Wasn't Awakening to Fates a bigger gap? I just googled Awakening and expected Google to know what I meant. I don't think Awakening to Fates was a bigger gap. No, Awakening to Fates was 3 years and 2 months. Whereas we're at, like, 3 years and 6 months or something between Three Houses and Engage. I think Three Houses was, like, July, right? July 2019. And Engage is January 2023. 5 months? Okay, close enough, close enough. Yeah, so it'll be 6... It'll be, like, 5 months and... minus... It'll be, like, 5 months and, like, 20-something days. Yeah, it will have been the longest gap. Which... I don't know, it's weird. Like Awakening and Fates with less context? I'm not sure. I feel like a lot of people are like have quite low expectations of Engage already, which honestly I don't really mind. Because like lower expectations hopefully means less complaining when it actually comes out. But I don't know. I'm not like super hot or super cold on it, to be honest. I just think it's going to be... Ooh, that was a loud noise. I don't know if that came through the... thing, but if it did, I apologize. Ah. It's going good, Zach. How are you? I wouldn't be surprised if we had a Three Hopes DLC, because I doubt the team working on FE is the same team that works on Warriors, just because of how different those games are. I could be entirely wrong. And it is quite literally just guesswork on my part, but I would be surprised. I like that we can abbreviate it as fee, like say it as one word. True. Three Houses DLC was 7 months after. When did Hopes release? I feel like it was like June-ish? Yeah, June 24th. Okay. So that would put, like, Hope's DLC in around, like, January if it was the same time frame, but, like... I wonder if the Dimitri vs. Edelgard debate will die? I doubt it. I doubt the Dimitri vs. Edelgard debate will die. I think in general, the Three Houses community gets very attached to certain arguments. And I don't think much will change them. Also, I'm just going to make a bit of a change to the chat. Apologies if this reloads it. But I really don't like this grey colour. I fixed it on the other overlay, the one we use when we play Three Houses. But I didn't fix it on this because we hadn't done a Thursday Talks in forever. Badges. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just made the names a bit brighter, a bit more like pure white. I think it looks a bit nicer. I think, like, I don't know. Personally, for me, I've never played Fire Emblem for, like, the overarching plot. I've played it for, like, I enjoyed the characters a lot, especially in Three Houses, but, like, the overarching plot has never really been a massive concern for me. I think some of them are done really well. FE4 springs to mind. Some of them are alright, and some of them are fairly atrocious. But by and large, it's never been the biggest of deals to me. I haven't seen enough of the female designs to really, like, judge, or of any of the designs, to be honest. I don't know, I've just really, like, I've not had the desire to, like, seek stuff out on Engage, I guess. There's been so many promotion systems throughout the years that, like, they could go with one of the older ones, or they could go with something entirely new. I hope we at least get some form of branch, rather than just, like, straight promotions, like in, say, Telius or something like that. I hope we at least get some form of, like, branching path. I just think it makes things more interesting. But it also makes things harder to balance, so I would understand if they wanted to, like, forgo that for gameplay reasons, although some of the games that have just straight promotions are also some of the easiest in the series, like FE9. 12 wyverns isn't creative or fun? True. To be fair, like, people meme on the Three Houses 12 wyverns, but whenever I play FE7, it just ends up with, like, 8 horses. That's fair, like, I was early getting into Three Houses, and I'm still having a lot of fun with it, and I'm not really, like, pressing for Engage. I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm sure it'll be a good game. And, like, I still play other FEs that aren't Fire Emblem from time to time, but I kind of feel the same way about Engage as I do about that. Right? Like, I feel like the same way about playing Engage as I do about playing, like, I recently started playing Echoes. I feel similarly. Like, I'm like, okay, cool, this might be fun. That's one thing I really want, Zach. I just want this game to ship with its hardest difficulty. I appreciate that they patched Maddening in. I know you said Madden, and we're not playing football. But I appreciate that they patched Maddening in, but I wish it was there from the start. And I hope this game releases with its final difficulty, and please, for the love of God, do not make me have to unlock it. Stuff's annoying enough on games where I can just download a completed save file. Yeah, I know Three Houses had an unused difficulty. I am too, because I feel like female Byleth has traditionally been treated as the canon one. Especially with, like, merch and stuff like that. I feel like they've typically leaned more towards female Byleth. In fact, I think of most of the, like... I think people would also consider female Robin and female Corrin to be the more canonical ones, although maybe that's just me. That might just be my perception. I think that way it's the same number of male and female stands. Oh, okay. Female Byleth can romance all the lords. True. Yeah, I'm not a fan of gender locking at all. Personally, I think it's quite a weird way to allocate classes. I wouldn't mind a fixed class system, I just hope they fix it in a way that's at least interesting. Rather than just randomly nerfing half the cast in certain builds. And Byleth can be a homewrecker, true. I also hope they take out a lot of the, like, not take out, but, like, recognize that a lot of what happened in the Three Houses Monastery was mostly just tedium. Get rid of a lot of that. There's a lot in Three Houses that confuses me as to why it exists. Which is very dramatic music for a chill talking stream. Hope cooking makes a comeback though. I hope we get a cooking minigame. I want them to, like, if they're gonna add this stuff to the game, like, expand upon it, you know, like, commit. I want them to commit to the things that they add to their game. Me too, Zach. Give me Cooking Mama in my my Fire Emblem game. The class teaching stuff was really cool, and I wouldn't be upset if we got something like that again. Although, I wouldn't be upset with a more traditional Fire Emblem as well. I'm kind of cool either way on that front. Stardew Valley fishing, oh my god. No good game is complete without a fishing minigame. Facts. You wanted a Zora instead of Corrin? I could see that, but I don't think it ever would have really happened. They were always going to put Corrin in the game, right? So now I know what Solitaire was missing. Yeah, Solitaire needed a fishing minigame. That was its big absence. I just hope we get, like more interactive, to put it bluntly, better maps. The real thing I want from Three Hopes is just maps that are less terrible. Because I think that's probably Three Houses' weakest front, and that's fairly unanimously agreed. I don't think you'll find anyone who's like a huge fan of the Three Houses maps. You could I think a lot of people are fine with them, but I don't think there's a massive outpouring of support for them. Yeah, like different map objectives, but more like the thing is, like, it doesn't matter what objective you put on the map if all there is to do on the map is that objective. Like, we need things like villages, like, recruitable characters, chests that actually matter, even, like, on-map armories and arenas or something like that. Like, just anything that sort of, like, expands what I have to do on a map. Like, the more things you have to consider on a map, the harder it is, in a sense. And I think the harder it is, the more fun a map is to play. Yeah, I think they went with the base design for Byleth. I think most people prefer the darker head version of Byleth. I might be wrong, but I've got a feeling it's the more popular of the two. Pretty much just a gut feeling. It's not really founded on anything, but if I had to guess, I would assume it was the more popular one. The problem is that the maps in Three Houses feel like they repeat too much, and they're also not that good in the first place. Like, a lot of them are just really shallow. I prefer the darker hair myself, which might be why I assume it's the more popular one, but if I had to guess, I would assume it was. It's not just that half the maps are the same, it's that they're the same and used in very similar ways. I mentioned this when we did the Paralog tier list, but like I think the map that's used for Land of the Golden Deer and the Raphael Ignatz Paralog is a really good map to reuse, because they use it very differently. Whereas something like the Four Stalks battle map, right, that's also used for Falling Short of Heaven, Secret Merchant, a couple of other things I think too. It's just very similarly used every time. And again, it's not that interesting of a map to begin with. Which games have the best map designs in your opinion? I haven't played enough of Conquest to say Conquest, but I really liked Conquest map design from what I played from it. I think FE8, yeah, I think Sacred Stones has really solid maps throughout. Oh, we went on to a different video. It caught me off guard. For a second, it almost sounded like JoJo's, what's the thing, like DiGiorno's theme or whatever it's called. I really like the FE8 maps. FE10 has good maps, I agree with that. Although, again, I think they can be a little flat at some points, but FE8's bigger issue is its units. I just find myself walking through half of them with, like, the Black Knight or, like, whichever super OP unit they happen to give you for that point in time, the Wolf Queen or anyone like that. The first 6 maps, not including Chapter 3, are pretty well designed. I don't think any... like, I also dislike Chapter 3, but that's mostly because of Fog of War. I don't think any of those are bad maps, but I don't think they're particularly great either. Like, I think they're okay by Three Houses standards, but in any other game, they would probably be towards the lower end. Especially something like Chapter 5's map, which is literally just a spirally tower. Chapter 6's is fairly cool. It's utilized pretty badly, because you can just kill the boss over the wall. But in terms of an actual like map, it's fairly cool. I like the warp tiles and things like that. I wish they did more things like that. Shambhala's a fairly okay map. In fact, Shambhala's a pretty good map, I would even say. I like the Chapter 7 map, personally. I think that one's fun. I feel particularly negatively towards Fog of War maps lately, after a certain stream that took place yesterday. I can tell you right now that if Engage keeps that overlay, like that visual design for the actual in-gameplay elements, it will be that. That will be the worst part of Engage. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but it looks so blocky and awkward. I didn't mind it at first, and the more I looked at it, like, the more it's kind of, like, almost grown against me in a sense. The Sacred Stones videos get very interesting in a couple of episodes from now. Not to spoil anything, but if you've been enjoying that playthrough, you're about to start enjoying it a lot more. That playthrough's so much fun to play. I'm really glad I started that one, I'm not gonna lie. It's been so fun to go back to Sacred Stones. Especially to have it, like, almost bully me a bit. It makes me feel like a child again. It's fun. I was kind of iffy about starting it, because I've already got, like, a lot on channel-wise, but it's really, really low effort and a lot of fun to play, so... Worked out. Go me. Yeah, I did think that, like, maybe some people won't know the plot of FE7, but, like, I think you can follow along with the playthrough fairly well without the plot, but, like, the plot might have put some people off, I don't know. The other thing is, like, I don't really want to sit down and go through the FE8 plot again. If I'm being completely honest. Three Houses looks good when it looks good. I just think it also looks bad when it looks bad, you know? Is added to your infinite watch list? That's understandable. I've got a lot of things on my infinite watch list. I've probably got even more things on my started but never finished watch list. I'm glad people are enjoying it, though. Series has been a lot of fun to play. I'm having a lot of fun playing Fire Emblem in general lately. Yeah, I feel like we could have had, like, more maps if they didn't go through every map, making it, like, fully rendered when you zoom in and things like that. Like, I like the visuals of a lot of the zoom in, but from what it possibly held the game back for, I kind of wish it didn't exist. Like, it is cool to be able to zoom in on characters and stuff like that, but... a lot of the environments do look really nice, and, like, there's a lot of cool little background details that look really, again, really good. But they're just, like, fun to spot. But I don't know. I get the feeling we could have had more maps if that wasn't the case. I would be really chill with another game in the style of GBA, but I love the way the GBA games look. design of the engaged protagonist is definitely growing on me over time. Either that or I'm just, like, getting used to it. You know, it might be a bit of an acquired taste, but... I mean, I'm not super hot on them, but they're cool. If they end up being a good unit, I'll be very happy for their design. I'm really looking forward to Scarlet Violet. It's tomorrow, right? It should be good. Should be a good time. Yeah, the buildings are all huge. That is a good point. Like, the buildings on the zoom-in are all huge. I don't know, I guess my overall, like, thoughts, like, on Engage so far are that I'm hoping it'll be good, but I'm very doubtful it will keep me, like... I doubt it will maintain its relevance for as long as Three Houses has for me. And that's not just because, like, I hope they put out another Fire Emblem before, you know, the end of the decade or something, but... I don't know, just something about it just doesn't seem like it will have that same hook. I could be entirely wrong. But, like, Three Houses kind of grabbed me in a way that no other single-player game ever really has. Like, even other games I've liked a lot, I can't imagine myself playing them this consistently for years. Other than maybe, like, Pokemon. I haven't played Thracia, but I think Thracia looks really nice. Like, its overworlds and stuff. Not its overworld, but its maps and stuff. I don't really mind returning characters. I don't know. I get why people like a self-contained thing. And I do too. I enjoy the self-contained nature of Fire Emblem typically as well, but I don't mind them like experimenting with something like this. I think it could be a lot of fun. I can see the potential of it, for sure. Also, I hope the soundtrack slaps because Three Houses did. And, yeah, I want that again. Please. I feel the same way. I love Three Houses, but I don't want another Three Houses. I think Three Houses is very replayable, but... Like, there's a lot of games that I think are replayable, but I don't necessarily want to replay them. Something about Three Houses makes me, like, actively want to like... Just because you can have a bunch of different builds and everything like that, like, it doesn't necessarily mean you want to, right? But something about Three Houses, for me, like... I want to try everything this game has to throw at me. Like, I want to keep playing around with it. I think that, regardless of how replayable Engage is, I think that's the thing that I struggle to see it replicating. But then again, maybe I struggle to see it because, like... Oh, that was a horrible voice crack. I do apologize. Maybe I struggle to see it because I don't really know why I feel that way about Three Houses. Just something about this game just... like, really did hook me in. It does have a lot of characterization. Yeah, I agree. Like, a lot of the Three Houses characters are really well explored, and, like, I actively want to use them. Like, a lot of the time it's not like, oh, I'm gonna use, like, Ignatz because I haven't used him and he, you know, I might as well try him out. It's more like, I want to use this character, let's see what I can do with him. Which, again, is something I don't necessarily feel with, like, all of the previous games. Five characters that aren't traumatized. Alois, Raphael, Petra, the Gatekeeper? Hanneman? I don't know. See, people talk a lot about character development, but I think it's one of, like... I don't want to say it's overrated, but for me personally, I don't necessarily care about character development as much as I care about character exploration. Like, don't get me wrong, a character that develops really well, I'll use Lorenz as an example, is obviously very good, but I don't think it's mandatory for a character to be a compelling character. Like, some characters can just stay the same and be okay. Like, not every character needs an arc. Petra is a war prisoner, but she doesn't seem traumatized before. Like, she's gone through things that could have traumatized her, but I never really got the sense that she was traumatized. The same as Raphael's parents, right? Like Raphael's parents were killed, but he doesn't seem traumatized for it. Alois is kind of just vibing. Alois is kind of just a dude. It's really nice. I like that there's kind of just a normal person. Hello? Hello? Are we back? OBS just said it disconnected and then it came back again, but I'm not sure if the stream actually went down. Are we okay? Are we good? Back? Okay, cool. I have no idea what just happened. My OBS just said disconnected and then reconnected, and I don't know why. That was very odd. I still could see the chat messages coming through, so I don't think it was my internet. Like, the chat messages were still updating fine. I was still responding. I don't know who's at the door. Hold on, just give me 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourself for a second. I'm just going to go see who that is. Sorry about that, it was a parcel. What classes deserve to be in Engage? Please bring back more flying classes. Jesus Christ, I just want to see things that aren't Pegasuses and Wyverns. I hope in general just like the classes keep doing more interesting things. I hope like we get a return to abilities and things like that. Because that stuff was all fun. Wasn't there like the Griffins or something in one of them? Yeah, there were the Griffins in Awakening, right? But more in general, like, we used to get, like, different coloured Wyverns. We don't really get that anymore. Like, something about from Pegasus Knight to Falconites looked different and more different, I think, in the past. Zach Petra starts the game at 15 and has a birthday a few months into the game that makes her 16 because Lysithia is the youngest student in the game. You were along the right lines, you were just off a year. Also, that was like the most well actually I think I've ever sounded. And that's saying something. Yeah, the easiest way to remember it is just Lysithia as the youngest student in the game and Claude relentlessly bullies her for it. I'd be cool with Dartflies coming back. I don't really care about War Monks at all. I hope Brawling comes back, actually. That would be cool. Brawling was really a very nice addition to Three Houses. I don't know if anything's been confirmed regarding that, but Brawling was really cool. Punching things is a cool way of fighting. Brawling is back! Yay! Small girl punching inbound? I hope so. Is the weapon triangle back? That's kind of cool. I enjoyed its hiatus. But I wouldn't mind it being back. I don't know. I'm really, like, impartial. Like, is impartial the right word? Like, I don't care if the weapon triangle's there or not. I just hope it's done well if it is. I really really need to watch, like, I really need to catch up on the Engage stuff. The problem with me catching up on the Engage stuff is I don't really care. Like, I'm excited for it, but at the same time, like... Yeah, I do like the mastery skills in Three Houses. I think they're a really interesting replacement. Especially, like, swapping them in and out. Oh, I get so many Vindicell. So many. It's ridiculous. It's like multiple times a day. Trying to react to Engage stuff stream. I don't think we've plumbed those depths yet, but... No weapon durability, but that is interesting. Is there no weapon durability at all, or is there just like a basic weapon, like in like is like a basic variant, I guess, and then an improved one which does have durability? Breaking down Rhea when true. Quinn's most asked question. You want to play it fully blind? That's completely fair. I never normally mind that much about playing games blind. I know a lot of people are, like, really... like, don't like spoilers. As long as the gameplay is blind for me, I don't really care about, like, plot stuff and things like that. Like, I don't want to know how to beat the game going into the game. I want to actually be able to play it. It's just never been that big of a thing for me, personally. I think that's how a lot of people got into Fire Emblem. Like, people are just like... someone was just like, hey, you should try this game. It almost reminds me of, like, how most people get into, like, a lot of multiplayer games. Like, seems to be very well recommended. I think Three Houses is a really... I think Three Houses is a pretty okay starting point. I think there's games I think are maybe better starting points, but it's pretty okay. My big issue with Three Houses is I think maddening would be too hard for a new player, and hard is... I don't want to say hard is too easy. I think hard is too different from a typical Fire Emblem experience. Like, I do think hard mode is quite an easy time. But even compared to other games which I would consider easy, such as Path of Radiance or Sacred Stones, hard mode feels very different in Three Houses. And I can't quite put my finger on why, but it feels very different. Birthdays. If your first game was Birthright, you might have had a very different exposure to Fire Emblem. I've not played it, but there's a reason why. Yeah, I think hard mode starts out okay. It definitely ends up too easy. That's for sure. Yeah, what did you get when you asked for birthdays for your birthday? Yeah, I was pretty cold on Three Houses before Maddening came out. I enjoyed my time with the game, but I didn't see me like continuing to play it. And then here we are. Fantasy life? Fair enough. It was never put into the game. Infernal was never put into the game. The game didn't even ship with Maddening. Maddening didn't come around until like 6 or 7 months after release, if I recall correctly. Might have been a bit more recent than... Might have been a bit earlier than that, but... Yeah, the Infernal mode doesn't even seem like an actual balanced game. I don't quite remember too much about it, but I remember being told a lot and thinking, sounds fun, but... maybe not. I think Maddening's a pretty reasonable level of difficulty. I quite enjoy Maddening a lot. It doesn't feel like... Like, I know in some of the past Fire Emblems it's basically considered... things like Awakening's Lunatic Reverse, for example. Like, you almost have to play a certain way and with certain units to be able to beat it, or, like... at least within a reasonable degree. For a second, I thought you said Path of Radiance as Maniac mode, and like, no, that's a horrible time. It's not even hard, it's just annoying and tedious. I didn't finish Conquest Lunatic, but I really enjoyed the time I put into Conquest Lunatic. It did beat my ass, though. I didn't really get very far in. I just... like, that game takes a lot of time. And I did not have the time. The thing that really annoyed me about Conquest Lunatic, now that I think about it, was having to check every individual enemy for, like, what their skills were. Because skills weren't, like, defined by class like they are in Three Houses. Like, again, it's another thing that, like, I just wish that was displayed better so that it was less tedious to do. Because I think, like, functionally that could work. But it wasn't necessarily done in a particularly great way. Unfortunately. Does sound like a good time, to be fair. I love seeing the emotes in the chat. It's so cool. I was going to say, there's like Sacred Stones and Binding Blade, which are both... Or Blazing Blade. And Binding Blade? Which are all... The GBA games is essentially what I'm getting at. Abilityless. Oh, Monasteryless, sorry. I just completely... I didn't even read it wrong, I just... For some reason... ignored the actual words. Yeah, Chaz did a really interesting playthrough of Three Houses that was somewhat similar to what you're describing. It was genuinely very entertaining to watch. Abilities are in Sacred Stones, but like barely, right? You have like Pierce and like Lockpick and things like that. But... Great Shield and things like that, but like very, very few and far between. Didn't Pierce, like, break the game? If you had animations on and used it, got it with, like, a javelin or something. I don't remember the exact situation that broke the game, but I remember Pierce breaking the game. Yeah, Pierce at 2 range or something like that, yeah. Mage to do. He's trying to LTC. Is that still a thing? Do LTCs still use, like, Bishop to do? I haven't watched an LTC in a very long time. Oh wow, I've been going for over an hour already. That's gone so quick. I've been home for over an hour? What? That's absolutely flown. Good lord. Hopefully we can bring this back a bit more regularly. I don't know why I say hopefully, it's up to me. This will probably be back a bit more regularly. We'll try for weekly and see if it, you know, keeps or gains momentum, and if not, you know, reassess. But it will definitely be backed in some capacity. Because this is fun. You're a wizard to do. Do kind of need to eat soon, unfortunately. Dancerade, oh god. I'll bet. Please go eat food, circling around to the beginning topic. I will soon. Don't even know what I'm having, but I'll go find something soon. We'll go for like a couple more minutes. Pizza. Not a bad shout. Yeah, I think a lot of the, like, more interesting units as dancers would be fun, but I almost always want them as just, like, their actual unit. Dancerade or God with Armor probably looks really odd. Cremery Edelgod with Aimer looks weird. I can imagine. Thank you for stopping by, sir. You know what? Yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. It's been about an hour, and yeah, it's been fun. I'm glad people actually came. I was a little worried that after the hiatus, people wouldn't really come back. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, thank you for all the support on the channel lately. It's always greatly appreciated, of course. But yeah, it means a lot. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll catch you all next time. Hopefully this will be live again next week. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but I'll double check and let you know. Schedule's gone in the Discord. If you're not in there, you can find the schedule in there. And the next thing will be a stream tomorrow, I believe. I think there's a Three Houses Interesting build stream tomorrow. So hopefully catch some of you there for that. But outside of that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good night, and goodbye.